This video is a note-by-note breakdown of the guitar solo. The guitar solo begins at 2 minutes and 15 seconds on your timer. Since the supporting rhythm guitar and bass parts are a recurrence of the main rhythm that was analyzed and explained in part 1 of this 4-part series, they will not be further expanded upon in this section. The tuning used in this video and on the record is standard E and 440 wavelength calibration. This solo is going to be 8 measures long. We're going to start out on the first measure by placing the third finger on the G string at the 14th fret. We'll play this note twice, on 1 and 2, by picking it downwards both times, and we're going to allow it to ring out as a quarter note both times. And as we pick the note, we're going to bend it up a full step and pitch like this. 1, 2. On 3, we're going to pick that note again, downwards, but we're not going to bend it. We're just going to let it ring out as an 8th note. On the and beat directly after 3, we're going to go to the 12th fret with that first finger. We're going to pick this note up and let it ring out as an 8th note. On 4, we're going to go to the D string on the 14th fret with that third finger. We'll pick this downwards and let that ring out as an 8th note. To complete the first measure, we're going to go to the 12th fret using that first finger. We're going to pick this upwards on the final and or upbeat of the measure. Again, this is going to be an 8th note. The way we're going to count this first measure is 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. And pay close attention to the picking motion. It'll be down, 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 up, down, up. With the 4 count lead in, this is what that measure is going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 and. Okay, now we're going to start the second measure. The third finger will go down on the D string at the 14th fret. We'll play this note twice. On 1, we're going to pick it down, let it sustain out as a quarter note. On 2, we'll pick it down again, but this time it's only going to ring out as an 8th note. On the and beat directly after 2, we're going to go to the 11th fret on that same string with your first finger. We'll pick this upwards and it's only going to ring out as an 8th note. On 3, we're going to go back to the 14th fret on that same string with your third finger. We'll pick this down. Just to eliminate any confusion, I'll show you what we have so far. Notice the picking motion. It'll be down, down, up, down. It'll be counted 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. From this point, we're going to take the first finger and go to the G string at the 11th fret. We're going to pick this upwards on the and beat directly after 3. It's going to be an 8th note. On 4, we're going to go back to the D string on the 14th fret and pick this down. That's going to be another 8th note. We'll complete the second measure by going back to the G string on the 11th fret using the first finger and picking that up on the final and beat of the measure. With the 4 count lead in, this is what the second measure is going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, with the 4 count lead in, let's combine the first 2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Now that we have reached the third measure of the solo, the last note that we played to end the second measure should still be ringing out. That's where the first finger is on the G string at the 11th fret. On 1, to start the third measure, we're not going to pick this note. We're simply just going to bend it up a full step and pitch as it rings out. We'll let that ring out for a quarter note. On 2, well, that note is still bent. We're going to pick it down and let it ring out for another quarter. On 3, we're going to pick it down again, but this time we're going to pinch it. What that is in the picking motion, we're going to choke up on the pick so just the very tip is sticking out. And we're going to barely nick the string with the tip of the pick and the thumb to produce a slight squeal or a pinch harmonic. So after we hit that squeal, as the note is ringing out, we're not going to pick it again. We're going to sustain it and release the bend back to the note's original unbent position on the and beat directly after 3. On 4, we'll pick that note downwards and let it ring out as an 8th note. We'll finish up that 3rd measure by shifting down a step in pitch to the 9th fret on that same string with the 1st finger. We're going to pick this note upwards. With a 4-count lead in, this is what we're going to have for the 3rd measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2. Notice that that note is ringing out as I start the 4th measure. It's actually going to ring out for 5/8 of that measure. So we'll finish up the 4th measure by playing 3 8th notes counted and 4 and picked up, down, up. The first of those will be on the and beat directly after 3, where the 3rd finger is on the D string at the 11th fret. We'll pick that up. On 4, we're going to go to the G string on the 9th fret. We'll pick that down. And to finish up that measure, we're going to shift back up a full step in pitch to the 11th fret. On that same string with that 1st finger, we'll pick that note up. Okay, the last 3 notes, once again, are counted and 4 and picked up, down, up like this. And 4 and. So with a 4-count lead in, here's what the 3rd and 4th measures combined are going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to combine all 4 measures so far right from the very beginning with a 4-count lead in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Now that we are halfway through the solo, the rest is going to be a lot easier. The 5th measure is going to be an exact repeat of what was done in the 1st measure. You already know this, so there's no point in recovering it. We're just going to skip ahead to the 6th measure. The 6th measure is going to be very similar to what we did in the 2nd measure. The first 5/8 are going to be exactly the same. The 3rd finger is on the D string at the 14th fret. This is what we did for the first 5/8 in the 2nd measure. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Pick down, down, up, down. Okay, this is going to be exactly the same in the 6th measure. The only thing that's going to differ is the last notes. After 3, we're going to go to the 11th fret on that same string with the 1st finger. We'll pick that upwards on that and beat, and we're going to let it ring out as an 8th note. And on 4, we're just going to go back to the 14th fret on that same string using the 3rd finger. We're going to pick that down and let it ring out as a quarter note. And after we pick it, we're going to slide down and pitch. So with the 4-count lead in, this is what the 6th measure is going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4. With a 4-count lead in, let's combine the 5th and 6th measures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Now we're at the 7th measure of the solo. What we're going to do is take the middle finger and place it on the B string at the 22nd fret. On the and beat directly after 1, we're going to bend this note up after we pick it, just like this, on the end beat, in 2. Notice that when I bent it up on 2. Picked it on the end beat after 1, bent it up on 2. In 2, okay? That note was bent up a full step in pitch. What we're going to do there is we're going to sustain that note out, and we're going to take the third finger and place it right under the middle finger onto the high E string at the 22nd fret, and we're going to pick that. Then we're going to go back to the note that we have bent, the B string, where the middle finger is. We're going to pick that and sustain it back down after we pick it. So here's what we have there. Okay, that's counted in 2 and 3 in, in 2 and 3 in, just like that. In 2 and 3 in. And from this point, we're going to place the first finger on the B string at the 20th fret. We're going to pick that down on 4. We're going to go back to the 22nd fret with that middle finger, pick that upwards and bend it back up for a full step. So with the 4-count lead in, this is what the 7th measure is going to sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Okay, and we're going to let that note sustain out all the way through the 8th measure. Now the only thing that the record does differently is that note is sustaining out, there's actually a vibrato. Now if you have a tremolo bar, you can shake it to get that vibrato, or you can hold the note up and shake it with your finger. That's something that I'm not very good at, so I'm not doing it. Okay, so with a 4-count lead in, let's do the last half of the solo, right from measure 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and... Let's run through the entire solo one time. I'm not going to count it out as I play it, I'm just going to give you the 4-count lead in. 1, 2, 3, 4.